Well, hello and welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome to the Jesus Enrique Rosas Show, episode 55 this time. We are live through YouTube on the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel, on X, on Kinesics, and on Rumble on the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel. Remember that at the end of this live stream, which is usually 2 hour-ish, more or less, maybe 20 minutes later, after this live stream ends, you will be able to download and listen on Spotify. And like 1 hour later, when it updates, you will have it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So every single way to listen to my show. And most important, how to support my show. It's very easy. You like what you are seeing right now. You hit the like. Subscribe, whatever you're looking for. We're really close to 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. And of course, you make sure to subscribe to my email list and download my free 100 body language tips. It's in the description of this video, completely free. And we will have another channel of communication just in case anything happens. And you will be able to reach out to me via email as well. So that's the link in the description to download it. So let's get started. And the chat is already on fire. The chat is already on fire while you are at it. I'm going to make sure that everything is ready for today's show, especially the captions, because we have a couple topics today. We have, of course, Trudeau resigns. We have Starmer in DISGRACE. We have, what else? I have to make sure that I have everything here that I need. The captions do everything. We have, Chuck Schumer being disgraced in front of the camera, talking about Biden, who has disgraced himself. Biden wants to go with a bang or something like that. He wants to do all the stupid things like really quickly before he goes away. This is gonna be the longest January ever. You know that? I don't know. Let me know if you also feel that January somehow has some kind of elasticity to it. It's like eternal. The January is always like eternal. It lasts like 3 months. 3 months. I saw a meme. It was the Cybertruck on fire. You can remember that this happened 1 month ago. No, it happened like 3 days ago, and we still feel like it was like weeks ago. January has that effect on us. I think we are ready to begin. Have nice sound. Nice everything. We are ready just in case we need to check something on the web. Make sure that we have Chrome ready here. Everything is set up, and we can start with a couple things. On not in the main topics. Let me see. The main topics of today. There are a couple things that I want to show you first. Let me see who is in the house. By the way, so many of you, another thing that I almost forgot. You see that some of your friends in the live chat has this nice star, a colored star, like Christine Miller, like Amanda, like SSJV. They have a little star with a circle with a star, and depends on the color. They are members. If you want to become a member, what is the main perk that you have? You will have access to the after shows. After the shows, I usually upload to Spotify my show, and I go to have dinner. And like 20 or 30 minutes after my show ends, we have an after show in which I begin to edit my live show and my standalone videos that you can watch as well. And you can just hang out with us. And we always have a great time. We have done that twice already, and it's great. If you want to join that, it's the price of one coffee a month. One bad coffee. This is like gas station coffee a month. So it's great for more content, and you will be able to use those cute emojis that you see on YouTube. You see, and we're ready to begin. Also, make sure that you become a member. There's a link in the live chat and a link in the description. So, I'm going to start with this quote by Kaisen de Asiedu. Trump won. Trudeau resigned. Keir Starmer got exposed. Nayib Bukele cut crime by 95 in El Salvador. Javier Milei created the first surplus since 2008 in Argentina. Masculinity is back. Great men are ascendant and just in time. We're going to need them. Yeah. Make great men great again. And I hope that on all this streak that we are living through, that Venezuela is also has a renaissance. There's a sunrise in Venezuela again. We need to make Venezuela again. Let's hope. Let's cross our fingers. So next in our things, well, we also have that the English police will hunt down and try to arrest Americans who post memes about England. All right. Well, one thing let's say I'm happy. Not say I'm happy, but I am not afraid. I wouldn't be afraid. I am not an American, so maybe I'm not at risk. So just in case, I will make sure that, hey, Met Police UK, how about this? The Keir Starmer Teletubby, are you going to deport me over this? This is a meme. Maybe quite an innocent one. It's not that aggressive as some of them. This has no gore, no. It's quite fun. It's quite cute indeed. Keir Starmer looks cute, although the guy is a dick. That who are gonna. Oh, Sol Moreno, thank you. Hello to my favorite thinker. Thank you, Sol. Thank you for those words. The thinker is something that I always like. I always like to think, and this is another picture that I as a Venezuelan, I need to set the record straight about this. And New York City subway riders are all terrified of being shoved in front of a train, and how absolutely everyone stands now after the recent subway pushings altercations. I don't know. Well, I come from a low-trust society, Venezuela, my homeland. I haven't been to Venezuela in a while, and I cannot enter the country in a while. But I come from a low-trust country. And the thing is that what you learn from a low-trust country is that no matter which subway, in which part of the world, I've been in the Berlin subway, I've been in the Madrid subway, I've been in the... which other subway have been? I think... if I remember correctly, in Zurich as well, and many of them, every single time, no matter what, I make sure that I wait for the subway train with my back to the wall, because you never know what kind of crazy MF is going to, well, had a bad day. Maybe he argued with his wife, or he's getting divorced, or something like that, or maybe has a psychotic attack because of he smoked very strong weed, and then he decided that day to push you into the track. So I don't know. It's something that I've done all my life without having to witness or experience or anything. Call it street smarts, call it common sense, call it coming from a low-trust society in which you are permanently looking over your shoulder. It's like you're in Venezuela, you hear the sound of the motorcycle, and, well, let's say that I made a meme back in the day. Back in the day. But let me see if I can find it really quickly. But I don't know. Sometimes it's about common sense. Let me see if I can find it. I remember I did this. No, maybe I deleted it. I have blasted my account so many times, but that is the idea. I don't know. Maybe we have to have some kind of curse about this. A curse on. Okay, you're talking about the inauguration. How many of you are going to attend the inauguration. How many of you are attending the inauguration? That's great. Samantha will be there. Samantha will be there. And today is January 6th. We're celebrating the day of the not insurrection. The insurrection that never happened. That is not an insurrection. If you think that was an insurrection, no. That was not any of the sort. Well, we are here, and the first course on today's menu is that Trudeau, the tyrant of Canada, has officially announced that he is going to resign after, well, let's say, sending the country down a spiral of wokery and insanity, and he being insane himself, and he trying to gaslight everybody into thinking that Canada was doing great when it was not. And it saddens me because I have so many Canadian friends, and have family in Canada. I have dear friends in Canada. So I let's say that I'm way more than happy than this. The heir of Fidel Castro, the son of Fidel Castro, is finally stepping down, and well, Canada is going to have a. I still don't understand very well. I just asked Grok, and I asked Grok, the XAI, for help. But first, let's watch the video for ourselves, for our enjoyment.
So last night over dinner,
and I forgot to style my captions. My bad. I'm going to do it just in a second. Oh, and now you can see it. Last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader. But say it without crying. Why are you about to cry? Why are you about to cry? Why you're so emotional? Why? Be a man for once in your life. Be a man for once in your life.
After the party selects.
Well, you have a point. Julius. He didn't say he resigned. He says he plans to resign. So technically, he hasn't yet. Yeah, we could say that. But let's continue seeing what he says.
Its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election.
This country deserves a real man, not a quantum scribe, not a spineless crybaby. It is not like this.
This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
You have created the battle in Canada. You schmuck. You have created all the chaos and the conflict yourself. And you know what? You thought that you could get away with it. That is the thing. He thought that he could get away with it. And luckily for Canadians, he did. And I sincerely hope that there's a renewed hope for Canadians to get their country back, to put everything in order, that the next prime minister does the right things, the right move that are going to be, of course, difficult, are going to be painful. That's what happened when you let weak men to lead your countries, because they, I don't know, maybe he gaslighted people into voting for him. What happens all the time with politicians, but in this case was the result. Well, I don't know. I look at the UK and say, well, maybe Canada has a chance. Maybe if you look at the UK, maybe Canada has a chance. But then I saw a super chat pertaining to this. Super sticker. Thank you, Skis Spivak. Thank you, Skis Spivak, for your super sticker. Very pertinent to Canada. But right now, Justin Trudeau has announced his resignation as leader of the Liberal Party, but will remain as Prime Minister of Canada. It's like, all these days with Biden since November 6th that feel like forever. And this January days until January 20 are going to feel like months. It's a given. Until a new party leader is chosen. Here's what this development entails. First, an interim leadership. Trudeau will continue to serve as Prime Minister until the Liberal Party selects a new leader. I don't like this kind of things, because this is when people begin to retaliate, do some kind of, out of spite, begin to do bad things, really bad things out of spite. And if you thought that Justin Trudeau has done bad things so far, I don't know what he could do in the rest of his term. This interim period provides stability while the party conducts its leadership contest. Leadership race. The Liberal Party will now initiate a leadership race to find Trudeau's successor. This process involves organizing debates, meetings, and ultimately a vote among party members to determine the new leader. The selection process might take several months, as seen in past leadership contests. Parliament. They should do this. They should do just a fist fight. Yeah, it's a bare-knuckle fight. Do a bare-knuckle fight, like the best 3 out of 5, and that's it. And do some kind of a tournament. You can get rid of this in one weekend. Okay, fist fight, duels, I don't know, whatever. Like we used to do it in the old days. It would be faster. The debates and that whole stuff. No, Canada doesn't have time for months of debates. That is the problem. That is the issue. Countries that are in dire need of solid leadership don't have time for months of deliberation. That is the problem. That is the main problem. Parliament. Trudeau has requested a prorogation of Parliament until March 24 to give the Liberal Party time to conduct its leadership race without the immediate pressure of parliamentary proceedings. This means all current legislative activities are paused until the new session begins. And elections. Although Trudeau's resignation from party leadership does not automatically trigger an election, the political landscape could shift. That's what J.E., I know. Maybe we can do two tiers, right? Maybe 2 tiers. Men on one side, women on the other. We have to tell Trudeau, by the way, that there are only men and women. Don't get creative. Yeah, with the bare knuckle fights. Is that fair? Do you think, J.E., May, that we can do that way? Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we can come up with something with ladies as well. If the opposition parties table and pass a motion of non-confidence, it could force an early election. However, since Trudeau's resignation is from the party leadership and not from his position as Prime Minister, the government could continue until the scheduled election date, which must occur by October 2025. So it's not like goodbye to Trudeau already. It's nice. It's great that he resigned, but he's gonna be around for a while, and we're gonna see the actual, let's say, the actual happenings of this in this. He's gonna show his true colors. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, too many alphabet types. I get what you say, CW. Too many alphabet types. We're talking about men and women, and that's it. Men and women, that's it. Don't get creative. Don't get creative. So I sincerely hope that this is a new beginning for Canada, that they can have this positive metamorphosis, this progress. Oh, how about swimming in the freezing Ottawa River? I like it. That is pretty much anybody can do it, right? Because according to Trudeau himself and all the scientists, I guess that both men and women have the same stamina, strength, resistance to cold. So why not? Let's do that. No, just kidding. That's just nonsense. But so many months, so many weeks, so many, I don't know. We will have a lot of time to talk about this, starting right now with your comments. Let me highlight your chat. So we can, to call for street parties in Canada. Jenny G, so relieved to see him resign. Yeah. A lot of things happening. What is this assigned male and female at birth? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. By the way, I'm going to tell you, talking about controversial topics, in my latest members-only live stream, we were talking about one of my topics that YouTube say that, hey, you cannot monetize this video, or you can semi-monetize this video, but the video is doing good. It's doing good numbers. So it's you realize that when you I was talking about the grooming gangs, and we're gonna be talking about Keir Starmer right now, the Teletubby Keir Starmer. Immediately, it's like how to put this in a way. Let me make sure that I forgot one video here that is important before we move on to the Keir Starmer. I was talking about YouTube. YouTube, you could say that YouTube, all the YouTube is censoring stuff. You should only move to Rumble. I think that my opinion has always been that one has to be intelligent as well, and make sure that you use all the resources you have. And Amanda, thank you for your this is what? This is super chat. Thank you, Amanda. But why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you say anything in your super chat? Let me see. Before we're about to talk about Keir Starmer, by the way, but I want to include a video that I forgot. I'm just realizing in real time. No big deal. This is gonna be real quick. And we're gonna talk about this. You know, because that topic is just horrific in every single way. And even so, I hadn't had that many problems with YouTube. I think even YouTube is realizing that we need to talk about these topics, and they cannot stop us. They cannot stop us. I would like to see a list of no words. That is just boring. Maybe we can talk about that in today's members only live stream after the show. I want to keep the show moving because all of you came here for these topics, and then we can have the laid back, funny chat afterwards in the after show. So, time to talk about Keir Starmer. Something that it was absolutely necessary to do today, because the first thing that I saw when I opened my mobile phone today, and I saw my ex Keir Starmer calling for inquiries about the grooming gangs because they want to jump on the bandwagon of the far right. No, everybody agrees that this was not the way to address this. You don't say, no, we really want to know. I, for one, I made the mistake months ago when I found out about those rape gangs that happened from say year to this year. I thought that happened back then and it had finished. And then with all that is being exposed is when I realized days ago that this is still ongoing. This is still going. I apologize. I did not do my due diligence, and I just realized that this has been more than 25 years, maybe 30 years happening, and still it's still happening. And is my question, how hasn't this been stopped? How has the people who is in charge of this not do anything about this? So since Elon Musk is bringing attention to this in a big way, and the BBC is trying all they can to hide, to cover up for this nonsense, then, well, this is Keir Starmer's answer to this. When politicians have raised the volume,
and I mean politicians, who sat in government for many years, are casual about honesty, decency, truth, and the rule of law, calling for inquiries because they want to jump on a bandwagon of the far right.
Calling for inquiries, it means that you're jumping on a bandwagon of the far right. Do you think that is right? Do you think that is right? Okay, this is just something that the far right is making up. No, this is something that is very real. And the stories that we have seen on X, I simply cannot reproduce them because so many people say, we need a trigger warning. I need a trigger warning. The images that the text, you're seeing plain text, black font over white background. But the images that you have after you read that are so horrific that you ask the question, how is this man, how this man can answer like this and pretend that this is not happening?
And that affects politics because a robust debate can only be based on the true facts.
Some of you mentioned that they keep saying, I think there was Princess Dumbarton, that they keep saying robust. You see that Trudeau uses the word robust, and Starmer used the word robust again. And thank you Fry by the Sea, who pitched me this video of Keir Starmer speaking. And this is where you can see his body language. We can see his body language and say that he was really uncomfortable talking about this. Let's take a
Those
watch.
were cheerleading Tommy Robinson, not interested in justice. They're supporting a man who went to prison for nearly collapsing a grooming case, a gang grooming case. These are the people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence.
Okay, this is a thing that I see that Keir Starmer keeps doing over and over again. He keeps talking about Tommy Robinson, like trying to, and I saw Piers Morgan doing that as well. They trying to use, oh, you cannot use Tommy Robinson. You cannot mention Tommy Robinson because Tommy Robinson was wrong about this and such and such. And again, we agree. The reason why Tommy Robinson is in jail, it is not justified that he is in solitary confinement, and it is not justified. There's this contempt of court. You can see black belt barrister that did a very good video about that a few months ago. But it's like, oh, since you mentioned Tommy Robinson and Tommy Robinson was wrong about this couple of things, then he was wrong about the grooming gangs as well. This is the logic that they want to push onto you. You have to be very careful. Have to be very careful for it because nobody, no character in this play is perfect. Nobody is perfect. There's no perfect person in here. Tommy Robinson is not perfect, and granted, Keir Starmer is not perfect. But saying that, oh, since you mentioned Tommy Robinson, free Tommy Robinson, then you are wrong because he made this couple mistakes. He made this. He's wrong about this. No, that is a straw man argument. That doesn't work, and that's why they make sure. That's why Keir Starmer makes sure to mention Tommy Robinson, and even Piers Morgan, who is the greatest snake in British TV, and he keeps claiming that he's fair. No. He's just a snake. Piers Morgan is a snake. He keeps pushing this narrative. Oh no, don't put Tommy Robinson as a hero, Elon Musk. Nobody is saying that Tommy Robinson is a hero, an immaculate hero, but you have to hear what the guy had to say about the case. Again, anybody can make mistakes. Elon Musk can make mistakes. Donald Trump can make mistakes. Keir Starmer is making a mistake of all that he is. Tommy Robinson did, but that doesn't mean that when Tommy Robinson brought awareness about what was happening, oh no, he cannot talk about that. That is racist. That is racist. That is the way that they try to gaslight you. Keir Starmer, Piers Morgan as well, about this matters. And I don't know what is Piers Morgan's agenda, by the way. Nobody knows. I'm just going to mention him passingly because he keeps trying to align himself with, well, just without any morality or principles. He reminds me of that joke from Groucho Marx. Here are my principles. If you don't like them, I have others, just in case. That is exactly what Piers Morgan is. But let's keep watching.
People like Tommy Robinson promoted. And those attacking Jess Phillips, who I'm proud to call a colleague and a friend.
I'm proud to call Jess Phillips a colleague as a friend, and he crossed his legs in this way at the ankle. He's not so sure about that. He's not so sure about what he's saying. That is interesting that he crossed his legs like that. He was not that. He was not that secure. It's like he had one foot against the other. He reminds me of Harry in this way. You know that Harry does this like full on, in which he puts one foot totally like vertical, we could say, and the other foot on top of it. He's going the Harry way. He's really nervous, and then when he's talking about Jess Phillips, he crosses his feet like this. No, he's not so sure about Jess Phillips being a friend.
Not protecting victims. Jess Phillips has done 1,000 times more than they've even dreamt about when it comes to protecting victims of sexual abuse.
With that body language, man, you're not convincing me with that body language. You are lying. You're not sure of what you're saying. You're not sure at all of what you're saying. You're trying to put a lie out there. Look at his body language. Look at him. Look at him. You don't have to be a specialist in body language to notice that this guy is all nervous. He's trying to save his own career. He's trying to do something about the horrific things that have happened, and it's going to explode in his face. Again, this has been happening for decades, so it's not a recent stuff. But the way that they are trying to pretend that it never happened, that is what's more disgusting. Oh no, sweep that under the rug. That is a far-right conspiracy. Elon Musk should be shut down. I don't know, eliminate X, ban X from the UK. The BBC is going to make a documentary so everybody knows the truth that none of this never ever happened. All these are racist attacks. Diversity is our strength. I'm tired of all of this. I'm tired of all of this.
After her entire career. And so just as I took on the criminal justice system and the institutions when I was chief prosecutor, I'm prepared to call out this for what it is. We've seen this playbook many times, whipping up of intimidation and threats of violence, hoping that the media will amplify it.
Threats of violence, intimidation of threats of violence, this is something that you have done. This is something that you have done with the British people. Intimidation via that you cannot even express your opinion on social media, not even on Facebook, but because you will go to jail, and you will be jailed for way more time than those monsters, those animals who are doing those monstrosities.
Jess Phillips does not need me or anybody else to speak on her behalf.
But when the poison of the far right leads to serious threats to Jess Phillips and others, then in my book, a line has been crossed.
Oh, a line has been crossed. A line has been crossed. What? You are a nonce enabler. You're just a nonce enabler.
I enjoy the cut and thrust of politics, the robust debate that we must have, but that's got to be based on facts and truth, not on lies, not on those who are so desperate for attention that they're prepared to debase themselves and their country.
We're gonna show you something that you should know. Now that we're talk about the truth. Let's talk about the truth. I'm going to show you something that it is important to understand the scope of this, and especially the way that we can frame this guy speaking about this. It's something, the level of how horrific was or have been this 25 years, more than 25 years. I'm going to show you on this. We believe they have made an informed choice about their sexual behavior, and therefore it is not for your police officer to get involved. Who are they talking about? They're talking about 12-year-old girls. 12-year-old girls. The Home Office circulated this memo under Prime Minister Gordon Brown in respect to the victims of the rape gangs. This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace. And here it is. On 29 October 2019, the complainant wrote to Staffordshire Police and requested information in the following terms. You may not know this, but back in 2008, the Home Office sent a circular to all police forces in the country saying, as far as these girls being exploited in towns and cities, we believe that they have made an informed choice about their sexual behavior, and therefore it is not for you police officers to get involved in. What the fuck? It's no, this is, I told you, I'm going to say it a third time. All the people involved in this, all the people who did that to those girls, all the people who perpetrated those crimes, all the people that allowed this to happen, they should be hanged. All of them should be hanged. This is no other way. And to see Keir Starmer more worried about politicians is disgusting. I want to puke. I want to puke.
So this government will get on with the job of protecting victims, including child sexual abuse, mandatory reporting, accelerating the processes. But what I won't tolerate is this discussion and debate based on lies without calling it out.
Yeah, he wants to censor people. He wants to censor people who talk about this. But the problem is that it is backfiring. It's backfiring huge in the media. The media cannot cover this up any longer. And the media has been covering this up for decades. We're living among actual demons. I could say that they are animals. Some animals can be cruel. There's some cruelty in Mother Nature. Mother Nature is amoral, in fact. So let's call them monsters. But monsters sounds too soft. Demons is the actual thing. These people are not human. For me, they are not human. So they should be treated as such, as not human. The punishment should be inhuman for them. It is my opinion, but I would like to know your opinion as well in the comments. So see your live chat. Yeah, Veronica, you never knew about this. One can say, I wish I never knew about this, but it's better that we found about this and we know about this. But this is something that had to be brought to light. And yes, I agree with some. I agree with some that this is perhaps the greatest scandal, if not in recent times for the UK, but the greatest scandal in the history of the UK and the history of the Western world. How is this possible that in the name of, oh yeah, well, we are gonna be called racist? It's something that, yes, I'm not going to go on that kind of rants again. I already did the other day. That rant is doing well in YouTube, by the way. YouTube is absolutely okay with my rants about this, which is fine, which is great. Yeah, some cultures cannot be. You simply cannot accept some cultures in your country. It's that simple. It's that simple. No, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself with a heavy filtering. And what the UK and Europe at large have allowed in the past 20 years is insanity. It's plain and simple insanity. It's complete and utter country suicide. Complete and utter country suicide. No, should have never happened. Should have never happened. Well, Princess Dumbarton, you say that crime has nothing to do with race. Commit a crime and receive the standard punishment. I'm not going to be the one to bring the statistics here. But it's like when we talk about pit bulls, and you see that for some reason, pit bulls are a mysterious issue in terms of lethal attacks compared to other dogs. Is it always the owners? How is that possible? How does that match the statistics? I'm going to leave you that question. I am pro banning pit bulls, by the way. If you have a pit bull, well, maybe you will get offended, you get a trigger, you're gonna say, you're gonna begin to say that it's the owner. All right, whatever you say. Tell that to the statistics. Okay, statistics will come and will slap you in the face. Okay, because you're not gonna win against that. And it is undeniable that some cultures simply will not mix with Western values. Will not happen. And maybe it can be that you were born in a very low trust society, as I did, but you make sure to prove yourself that you want to be the citizen of a high trust society, and maybe you have the opportunity to enter that high trust society. First of all, first thing that you have to do is learn the effing language. If you don't learn the effing language, we have the idea that you're not interested in any sort of assimilation. If you don't learn the effing language, you cannot stay. It is that simple. And it would be that simple as, all right, you actually need a test. We need to test you in ways to find out that you can be an actual citizen. And the moment that you, as simple as you just look bad this way, or just commit the smallest crime, you're out. You have one chance. You don't have two. Just one strike, you're out. One strike, you're out. It is that simple. And you will notice that people will respect the laws of the land, of the country. Not only everybody will respect those laws, because it would be enforced upon. And we would not care if you're white or black or brown or yellow, blue or pink. No, not at all. J.A.M.A. Archbishop of Canterbury resigns over failures in abuse scandal handling. Justin Welby resigned as of today. I thought that he had, I saw that as well. I thought that he had resigned before. And one of the things is that we are entering an era in which we have platforms in which we can express not only opinions, but expose what is really happening. And we can confront the people, confront the liars with this stuff, and tell them to their faces, hey, you are lying. You are lying. It's that simple. That's it. Let's say, for example, this. Let's say, for example, this. Watch this video. It's going to be enlightening and very fun to watch. There's my button. Chuck Schumer is confronted about his former opinion that Biden was in his best shape. And let's say how he reacts to his own gaslighting. Let's see how he reacts about his own gaslighting. Incredible video. NBC plays back tape of Chuck Schumer lying about Joe Biden's mental acuity and asks for his response. Instead of backing off or hedging his answer, he doubles down. This is the DC establishment. They think you're too dumb to notice their corruption. Let's watch.
I want to play you a little bit of something you said last year. Take a look.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine.
Mental acuity is great and is fine. It's fine. It's like that meme of the dog and the house on fire. This is fine.
It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
As usual, this is all right-wing propaganda. You saw that Keir Starmer said the same. All these requests are right-wing propaganda. All this is the right-wing, far right. All this is the far right. That's it. That's all that they can say right now. And I'm going to tell you, if they don't change their tune, I'm going to be the first one to laugh. They are going to keep losing. They're going to lose again. They're going to lose again and again. And I will be there, laughing at them.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
No. Look, we didn't. And let's look at President Biden.
Yeah, when we look at President Biden, the first thing that I say is that I don't know which version of Biden am I looking at, because there are like at least 6 or 7 Bidens are out there. They just put the clone or the double just in case, because the real Biden must be in some kind of sleeping chamber by this point. Sleeping chamber.
He's had an amazing record. The legislation we passed.
What is the amazing record? You are changing the subject. He has had an amazing record of the legislation. No, we're talking about the fact that his mental acuity was exposed during the debate. You said, like weeks prior, that he was just fine. Everybody knew that he finally resigned, or no, that he let Kamala go for the presidential race. That was not Biden. Either way, that was the puppet masters. But you want to tell us about the legislation? Maybe he just had to sign for that. Maybe somebody else wrote that. Maybe he never read those legislations. Who knows? You're trying to mix two topics in one, Chuck, and that is not how we have a conversation. It's obvious that you are not ready for this conversation.
One of the most significant groups of legislation since since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges, a record, and he's a patriot.
He's a patriot. Again, these are completely misleading combinations of stuff. We're talking about his mental acuity. We are not saying that Joe Biden is not a patriot, which he isn't, but that is not the topic of this conversation. This is how people gaslight you into saying, hey, you know what, I meant what I said. No, you said that he was in peak mental acuity. And now you're talking about legislations. And you're talking about now that Biden is a patriot. None of those things have to do with my question of what you said back then. You have to be very careful and very mindful of people's words. You know, I'm the body language guy, but I also make sure that you have to focus on what people say and the body language at the same time, and realize if they are answering the actual question that you asked. That is important. That is important. Oh my God. We have a video that I want to share with you as well.
He's a great guy. And when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
I think you mean another thing. I'm not going to say here because it's a very offensive thing, but we should all salute him. No, nobody should salute Joe Biden. Joe Biden was a disgrace. Not only Joe Biden, but who put him in there. Not to mention Kamala Harris. That is so funny to know. It's so funny to confirm that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are not in the speaking terms. There's a reason why everybody got a Medal of Freedom award except for Kamala Harris. You remember that Obama gave that to Joe Biden, and Joe Biden did not give that. And the records out there, the rumors out there that Kamala is really pissed about this. Well, what I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to tell you, Kamala, I don't know.
Do you feel, as we have this conversation today, that President Biden could serve another 4 years had he stayed in the race and potentially won?
Well, I'm not going to speculate.
I'm not going to speculate. We're talking about he would be a vegetable, like with 2 or 3 more months. He would be a vegetable by this point. That guy was on I don't know how many drugs, Biden, to barely function.
As I said, I think his record is a stellar one, and he'll go down in history.
Again, he begins to talk. We're asking a question about the future. What do you expect the future to be? Oh, no, let's talk about the past again. And getting this pitch right now in real time about a video that I have seen about Biden, by the way. This one, but I have never paid attention to this. This is legit one of the funnest things he has done. Let me see if I can download it very quickly. It shouldn't be just a couple seconds. And yes, there it is. What is this video about? Let's see. I haven't watched this. You know how I love to react live to stuff. Sometimes we get nice surprises. What is this about? Gonna make sure to reduce the volume, and we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
He isn't even singing in tune. I'm not going to say that President of the United States has to sing in tune, but at least you need to have some kind of energy to it. Because no, that is not in tune.
Happy birthday.
He didn't remember his name.
Happy birthday to you.
John Cartier, you're right. Another sniff candidate. I'm going to sniff him. I'm going to sniff. Can I sniff him? No, you cannot. But it's the diversity. Yeah, it's so people realize that I don't just sniff young girls. I go for boys as well. Yeah, brown boys or Latino boys. I don't know what is he, but oh my God, this is so embarrassing. This is this is a complete embarrassment for what should be the leader of the free world, and who put it in there. And you see how people like Chuck Schumer want to make it seem like no big deal. He had a great record. How much of that record was him? How much of that record were the clones? And how much of that record were the puppet masters is my question. But I guess that we will never find out. Or maybe we will find out when Donald Trump takes office and Kash Patel begins to, maybe Kash Patel can tell us one thing or two about what really went on with those Biden clones. Of course, I'm joking about the Biden clones. It's only one Biden with different levels of drugs in his system. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Let me highlight your chat right now. Dominion. We're talking about Dominion. Somebody who became a member? Jenny Ward Scott. Jenny Ward Scott became a member. Jenny, now you know that after this show ends, we will have an after show when I begin to edit all this live stream into the individual, and we have a chat. We have a lead back chat with all the members. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the description of this live chat, or in the link in the description. Yes, the putrid stench from the festering epidemic of corruption and abuse of power around the world cannot be washed from the hands of every colluder. There's no hiding place for them. They're marked forever. Thank you, Buggy Bumpers. That's quite a comment. Thank you. This is great. By the way, I'm glad to announce that we already broke 200 members of the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel. Well, backstage passes for members after the live. Yeah, you will have a backstage pass. You will have a backstage pass, and working on that. We have a couple surprises. Maybe not today, but I want to give you some surprises along the way. One of those, just make sure that I check a couple things here before we move on. Check a couple things here before we move on with the topic of Kamala. Okay, we got from the White House last minute. President-elect of Venezuela, Edmundo Gonzalez, speaks of a long and conversation with Joe Biden. That doesn't look good. That is impressive, right? How do you have a long and fruitful conversation with Joe Biden? That's maybe he's a diplomat. He's a diplomat. Oh my God. my God, I want to say some things about Venezuela, but I'm going to wait a couple of days. I'm going to wait maybe 1 or 2 weeks before speaking about Venezuela, and I don't want to interrupt whatever is going to happen if there's going to be happening. Wait a second. In an urgent notification. All right, now it's gonna be afterwards. So next topic. Kamala has to certify Trump today. Will she be smashed again? Smashed. Let me see if I have footage of Kamala with Trump. Something like that. Make a quick search. Now, Kamala Harris and U.S. senators are on their way to the House chamber for a joint session of Congress to certify the 2024 presidential election. I can't wait to watch Kamala certify her historic loss to President Trump. Kamala getting ready to certify Trump's election. We got memes. Here got a meme from the Rican memes. Kamala getting ready to certify Trump's election. Yeah, that bottle. AI. We still have a lot to. We still have a long way to go with AI. Let me see here. They're going to a joint session of Congress to certify. How drunk is Kamala Harris going to be today when she certifies President Trump's landslide victory? And let's analyze this. It's time to analyze Kamala. It's Kamala's turn to be analyzed. Let's see. Okay. Shamala. So, Kamala Harris releases video saying she will certify the results of President Donald Trump's 2024 presidential election victory. And, well, she was dressed in green. I'm not going to lie. You know that green is one of my favorite colors, but green is the color of envy as well. It's the color of envy. And why in one screen I see her suit as maroon and here is green? I don't know.
The peaceful transfer of power is one of the most fundamental principles of American democracy. As much as any other principle, it is what distinguishes our system of government from monarchy or tyranny. Today at the United States Capitol, I will perform my constitutional duty as Vice President of the United States to certify the results of the 2024 election.
I'm sorry, that's way too much fun to watch. This is so fun to watch.
This duty is a sacred obligation, one I will uphold, guided by love of country, loyalty to our Constitution, and my unwavering faith in the American people.
You forgot to say the joy. Where was the joy? I was expecting. I'm joyful for certifying. We are the people of joy, and I will joyfully certify that Donald Trump is going to be the president.
As we have seen, our democracy can be fragile.
No.
And it is up to then each one of us to stand up for our most cherished principles and to make sure that in America, our government always remains of the people, by the people, and for the people.
It's like Foggy Martin says. In other words, I'm forced into doing this. Yeah, the DEI hire of the White House was forced into doing her own, doing her job, because this is her job. Yeah, Princess Dumbarton, she forgot to say the word robust. Robust joy. Yeah, we're using robust joy. Yeah. Yeah. Happy joy, like this says forbidden chocolate. Oh my god, you saw the Ren and Stimpy show. Oh, I got the reference from the Ren and Stimpy show. It was good times. Sadly, that John Crick-Falusi was another PDF. My god. We can so many why so many perverts out there? I don't know. And then we have this.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
Yeah, you do that thing that you do with your head that I always have to explain that, yeah, you're not saying no, maybe you're emphasizing, but I don't care anymore. Maybe this is the last time that we're gonna hear your voice. But I'm sure that there are many millions of people that are still crying in their backyard, on their basement, drinking, trying to wash their sadness with alcohol, thinking, no, Kamala needs a second chance, maybe for 2028. Yes, Kamala should have an opportunity. Should have an opportunity for 2028. And we have this Nebraska senator, thanks to Yoni Maga. Nebraska Senator Deb Fisher's husband is my spirit animal. Guy wanted nothing to do with Kamala, and thanks to him, we have this amazing video.
Hi. Do you want to come here, Bruce?
You see Kamala's very nervous smile. You see that in her eyes, there's absolutely zero smiling expression. And the mouth, she's trying to smile, but the lip corners are not going upwards, but sideways. And no, that is not a genuine smile. No. He goes. He's got the Bible. And you see that he's making sure to not get near Kamala. It's like I want to keep as much space as possible without touching her. I don't want her bad juju. I was going to say something, but no. Oh, green-eyed lady, you're so mean. That neck is, oh my God, I'm not gonna read that. My finger slipped and I just highlighted your comment. It was not my intention. I'm not gonna read that. But well,
Don't worry.
Kamala is talking at the guy. You see that she's trying to be friendly. Look at his face and look at Kamala's face. Like, she's talking at him, and he's not making eye contact in any way.
Don't worry. Okay.
He doesn't even respond, and she begins with the cackling. Ha ha ha. The Kamala cackling. The Kamala Joker cackling was so classic. Okay.
Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States? Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for your work.
And there comes the second-hand embarrassment on steroids, in which she gives her hand. And how do you give your hand like this? I don't care. Even if you are a lady, you give your hand, straight. You don't. That is a limp fish. That is who's gonna want to shake that hand? No, you give your hand in a neutral position. And the guy is, I am not going to do this. There are cameras on me. I'm going to be based. That man conveyed his distaste in the absolute most respectful way. Had not minimum to no eye contact. And what he did? Thank you. He nods with barely. The only moment that he looks at her, and it's like he says with his eyes, I am not shaking your hand, lady. I am not shaking your hand. I am not shaking your hand.
Okay, sure.
that way just a little bit. There you go. Thank you so much. Ready?
Not happening.
1, 2.
The shake not happening, and was so embarrassed. Oh, how unpolite. How unpolite. Does Kamala have fans like the Sussex Squad? The Sussex Squad? Does she have fans? Oh, how unpolite. I can imagine them. All her fans. They have she has unpaid fans that are not paid for. I hope so. I just hope so. There's so many of you with your comments. Yeah, epic move, guy, and he remains. They're smiling, and the guy is, oh my god. Next time at the bar, the guys are going to make fun of me, but one thing that I'm not going to do is to shake this woman's hand. He's saying what? Out of the ashes. He's saying, excuse me, will you shut up? He's saying, excuse me, will you shut up already? Will you stop with the cackling for once in your life? That would be nice, you know? That would be nice, a nice approach to the end of whatever you could say, your reign, your disgraceful reign. I'm not going to miss Kamala at all, but I'm pretty sure that this is not the last time. But we will have to deal with Kamala. What do you think? Is she going to run for California governor? Is she going to run for California governor? Is she going to run in 2028? Why not? She's young. She can do that. She can do that. But if we follow the progression of her decline from 15 years ago, and she was this very eloquent speaker, as of this year that she was all over the place, I can only imagine that in 4 years she's going to be Biden great garble. So no, that's not going to happen. But I still want to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Oh yeah, that man has integrity. That man has integrity indeed. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, today's topics have been really quick. Let me see what else is in the schedule. What else is in the menu for today? If we can just wait for something happening in real time, just make sure that in X Pro here. I'm still keeping an eye on what is going on. If we have a last minute news, because if not, we're gonna have a shortish show today. But we can have a chat right now. We can have a chat. I want to make sure, because I know that what might happen is that I end the show early. Our show is usually 2 hours, but I'm not gonna lie, I have been a bit lazy these first days of the year. So, oh my God, I knew I had to prepare a show about what was going on, and well, these 4 topics were really hot today. Okay, now Kamala Harris, it just gave in a joint session. Let me see. This is now she has to listen to each and every state who cast their votes for President Trump. Let me see if I can find this. If you can see this live. They are now in the House pledging electorates. Let's watch that live. Why not? Right here.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Iowa seems to be regular in form and authentic.
So we're not having the right.
Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Make sure that.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Kansas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Yeah, the problem is that the sound is a bit low. There's no way to fix this.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Kentucky seems to be regular in form and authentic, and appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 8 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Louisiana seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 8 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Maine seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 1 vote for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 1 vote for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Maryland seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 11 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Michigan seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 15 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 15 votes for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Minnesota seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 10 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Mississippi seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Missouri seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 10 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Montana seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Nebraska seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 1 vote for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 1 vote for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Nevada seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New Hampshire seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 4 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New Jersey seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 14 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 14 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New Mexico seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 5 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 5 votes for vice president. Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of New York seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 28 votes for president. Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 28 votes for vice president.
There are so
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of North Carolina seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 16 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 16 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of North Dakota seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
You ready?
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Ohio seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 17 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 17 votes for vice president.
Madam President, The certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Oklahoma seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 7 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 7 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Oregon seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 8 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 8 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 19 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 19 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Rhode Island seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 4 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of South Carolina seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 9 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 9 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of South Dakota seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Tennessee seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 11 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 11 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Texas seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 40 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 40 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Utah seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 6 votes for president, and J.D. Vance from the state of Ohio received 6 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Vermont seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 3 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 3 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the Commonwealth of Virginia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 13 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 13 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Washington seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Kamala D. Harris of the state of California received 12 votes for president, and Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota received 12 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of West Virginia seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 4 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 4 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the great state of Wisconsin seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 10 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 10 votes for vice president.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Wyoming seems to be regular in form and authentic, and it appears therefrom that Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida received 3 votes for president, and J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio received 3 votes for vice president.
Members of Congress, the certificates having been read, the tellers will ascertain and deliver the result to the President of the Senate.
The undersigned, Deb Fisher and Amy Klobuchar, tellers on the part of the Senate, and Brian Steele and Joseph Morelli, tellers on the part of the House of Representatives, report the following as the result of the ascertainment and counting of the electoral vote for President and Vice President of the United States for the term beginning on the 20th day of January, 2025.
The state of the vote for the President of the United States as delivered to the President of the Senate is as follows. The whole number of the electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, the majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes. The whole number of electors appointed to vote for Vice President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for Vice President of the United States are as follows. J.D. Vance of the state of Ohio has received 312 votes. Tim Walz of the state of Minnesota has received 226 votes. This announcement of the state of the vote by the President of the Senate shall be deemed a sufficient declaration of the persons elected, President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate.
Thank you very much.
Which basically means goodbye. Rip tampon Tim.
The purpose of the joint Senate having been concluded pursuant to Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 2, the 119th Congress, the chair declares this joint session dissolved. Thank you.
And goodbye. And that's it. She getting wasted. Sloshed. She getting sloshed. And yeah, she went running. That's it. So we got, there was it was nice to watch with you. I had to mute my mic. Having all the crazy stuff. See where it is. Kamala has left the building. Yeah, she went right to the bar. Can't wait to get out of here. Oh my God, she's relieved. Now go and write that book about Biden. Yeah. This is she melted. That's what she wanted. That's what she wanted. Get out of there. Get out of there. See just what other stuff we have here. Oh my God. Macron accuses Trump of election interference. Oh my God, there's a meme here. Let me mute this. Just a minute. There's some harmless memes. See what we have to today here. I think we will be done for today's show. It was it was fun. It was fun. It reminded me of the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial when I just muted my mic and I was just fooling around writing in the comments. Yeah, it was a great chat today, as JP. If you want to be on my after show for members only, there's a link in the description of the live chat to become a member. I say this over and over again because many people want to join, many people want to become a member. It's sometimes difficult to know how can you become a member. There's a link in the description of this video and a link that is pinned in the live chat of YouTube if you want to become a member. You're gonna have the maybe in a while, maybe in around 30, 40 minutes. So my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and until we meet in another video or another live or tomorrow on episode 56, remember the most important words. Much love and please take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.